Check what up.
I'm Ouroboros. Hi.
And I'm your smolder.
Not yet, no.
I'm running the
That's okay.
programs.
We've all got our names, and I know
programs
it's okay, you know what point if you don't remember names. Pointing at places, right? Yeah. Okay, so what?
We have more topical names.
Yes, I have. You have. So you've heard of those three of those. You gave the Bridge series, Dragon Ball Abridged from Team 4-Star and all that stuff. Okay, so we are a bunch of Toronto Abridgers who happen to work on Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. So we've been called here to mostly give general tips on abridging or fandubbing because the two realms happen to intersect quite closely. They are very similar in terms of what you have to do. So we're mostly going to be answering questions on abridging and fandubbing in general, but since you're the only one here, we'll take pretty much all the questions.
Three.
From you two as well. They sort of
I'm aside.
You're green. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Audience abridged.
No, I think we got two more.
Hello.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the abridging panel.
Your sound works. Turn it on.
Okay, people have been trickling in over time, and I'm not sure whether we need to reintroduce ourselves or just.
It's fine. Just keep going.
So I do apologize to you two, but we are midway through. But however, we are in the middle of taking questions right now, so feel free to hit us up with anything. But to give you a brief outline of what we are covering, we are a Toronto-based abridgers that work on Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, the abridged series, and we're mostly here today to answer any questions about fandubbing or bridging that you guys might have, be it writing, technicalities, how to edit, finding good voice actors, anything of the sort, or even how to get started. So if you have anything like that, hit us up. If not, we'll just start covering what we predict to be the most common questions for people who are interested.
We'll start cracking jokes.
So
I know it's good.
That's usually how it ends up.
maybe what I think we should start doing is just starting and explaining how we got started.
Sounds like a good plan. You guys interested in that? Yeah, sure. Okay, so how do we get started? So I am what is considered to be the team leader, although since it is a team, I feel like everyone else has equal weight in terms of what goes on. But I'm mostly the person who runs around and feels that everyone else stuff doesn't like that. So I decided to start in about late 2010. I turned to Caduceus over here. I'm like, hey, let's do an abridged series. Cool. And he was like, okay, that's a good idea. I walked up to Ouroboros over there,
Hello.
who used to sit behind me in university, and I turned around and one day for class, I'm like, hey, you. So I know you like anime. How do you feel about doing the abridged series?
I was like, cool.
Okay. After on, we started playing a lot of League of Legends, and we met a few more team members through it. One of the important ones who's unfortunately US based and is unable to be here with us today, whose name is Abridging. And we asked, hey, do you want to be part of the Bridge series? And he was enthralled with the idea.
I can tell you exactly what his reaction is verbatim. Yes! That was exactly how he said it.
Slightly desperate, yes. So we started casting him as extras and then as a character from Fullmetal Alchemist Abridged, who's known as Abba. He's going to be getting a few more roles further on, but he's more of a writer, but he's also really important to us as a team. Francis, or as Malleus over here, we already knew from meeting with previous fan expos. It's a great way to communicate and network. So when we asked him, he said,
Sure. He's the creepy guy.
I'm the resident creepy guy in the Bridge series, so anything creepy related, they get me to do it.
Thank you, Francis.
You're welcome.
sorry, Mr.
Feel
Creeper,
very
we'll
clean
work that out for you. By episode 6, which is what we just released online, under the team name The Three Philosophers, we needed to recast Winry because unfortunately at the time when we had to do Winry, we only had male voice actors available. I do not do a good female voice, and we only had male voice actors. So we were like, you know what? Let's just use a male for Winry. And then we found here's Smolder over here who happens to do a fantastic Winry, so we recast Winry.
Yes.
And along with Pierce Smolder, Kato and Gilly was kind enough to accompany us as Dr. Marco.
The plot is here.
Yeah.
So that's a very brief outline of how we got started. start a group for abridging or fandubbing. So, two main things to consider when you want to start your own abridged series or fandubbing. So first and foremost, what series are you going to pick? That's probably the biggest thing you're going to have to think about. What series do you love? What series do you want to dedicate enough of your time and energy to either fandub or abridge? And you're going to have to do your research on this. First of all, you've got to know the series well. There's no point picking a series you've never heard of before because, quite frankly, a lot of the fans are not going to feel that you're going to be doing it justice. So is it a good series to abridge? For example, Dragon Ball Z is a great one. It's pretty much, 1 week you walk in, it's just Goku powering up in his hero and one guy, ah! The entire time. Great series to abridge because you can cut out most of the screaming and turn on episode in 5 minutes. Bleach might be a similar one, but unfortunately Bleach is so popular that, well, abridging groups of Bleach are probably a bad
It doesn't matter. The point is he's a
Shinigami, a Fullbringer, a Quincy,
Give it a few more chapters, he's gonna be the son of the Soul King.
yeah.
the point is
Give it a year.
Would not surprise
the point
at
is
all.
though that it's a popular series that people would like to abridge.
So you're gonna find at least 20, 30, 40 different abridging series. You can have a job for, hey, you're the best.
Right, and
If you wanna do that, go for it.
I know of at least 2 other Fullmetal abridged.
well, you can do that, totally. But the thing is that if you were, for something like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Dragon Ball Z, it would just be a really bad idea to try to bridge. Because if you're trying to elbow in little Grievos or Team Force Thirster, I don't know, think again, that's probably not going to get you any places. But yes, pick a series that probably balances popularity with a little bit of obscurity, not to the level that no one knows it and not to the level that everyone's doing it, but try to find something in between. And I think that's probably going to maximize your chance of not feeling like you're constantly being competed against. Because I mean, hey, it's not like when you started, you immediately stand copyrighted because frankly we don't own it. Funimation, I can't remember what the Japanese team is. Bones. Thank you. There you go.
Guys,
So,
for the love of God, credit Funimation or else they'll pull your shit off YouTube faster than you will.
that's a whole different
Right up there?
Yeah.
Read the disclaimer.
Yeah, take this
Bots
card.
read the disclaimer, stay down. Bots are like, oh look, your stuff is vaguely familiar to what we have in our algorithms. Fine.
Well, you don't have, well, no, actually the way Funimation's basic policy is just have a disclaimer. It could be in writing. It doesn't have to be a real voice disclaimer. That's why for one of our episodes we had this guy just do a nice little jokey disclaimer.
Pretty much. But yes, when you start doing a bridge series, it's not like you're immediately putting down your own stamp on it and saying, we are the only people doing this, you may not infringe on our turf. Be aware that other people may choose to do it, but people like those people don't go flaming their channel saying, hey guys, we're already doing it, no, that's just rude, please don't do that. But at the same time, I don't disagree that, when you see other people doing it, and if they're doing a much better job than you, there are really 2 ways of taking it. One, either you think, oh my god, you're amazing, I should probably step up what I'm doing. Or 2, you might feel a little bit discouraged, and both are completely natural to feel. The problem is when you do a series that has maybe 10 other abridging groups like this, you're really going to be juggling your feelings here. How should you be feeling about this many other people working on the same series?
It's part of the reason why we chose Fullmetal Alchemist because there weren't too many people doing it, and the only one that was doing it, the latest update was the only one that was actually good quality was only updated 7 months before.
Yeah, they're still on episode 1.
Yeah, they're still at episode 1.
We're on episode 6, so we're slightly.
Are we talking Faleros or X the Dark Ones?
Big part?
Are we talking Faleros or X the Dark Ones?
Valeros does the old school series, it does not the modern ones. So I consider that because at some point when the divergence happens, they're so different that I consider it to be very different series. But Valero stuff is great.
Oh, yeah.
It's very different style from what we do. I'll sit around for
So you just have to turn on. You just have to.
I would say yes for the sake of the video.
Hey, Mike.
that. Thank you very much.
I was gonna say, are we sure it's not just a prop? There we go.
Okay, so once you pick the series, the next thing you've got to do is, unless you are a one-man god like Little Karibo is, you're going to need a team. Because unless you can pull off that many voices this job of writing and editing, it's probably advisable to find a team, both for your sanity as well, because with a team things are going to get done faster, and you're not going to feel so pressured in terms of having. So the things you're going to need to write a good abridged series or even a fandom. Number one, good voice actors, because if you're going to be doing voices, you need good voice actors. And what makes a good voice actor? People who can portray emotion and project their voice. Two very basic things. You don't need to be an amazing voice actor. You don't need to be someone with 10 years of experience in the industry. You need to have an attitude where you're willing to learn and willing to take criticism. And that's one of the most important things you need to be able to do when you go onto a team.
Yeah, actually I do. And the attitude really is the big thing there. Like one of the things that I always do is every time, even if I'm in the subway, some people will look at you crazy, or they do with me anyway. But I mean, like, try different voices. Some of them will work, some of them won't, and see what you can do. That's what I always do, and it's just an attitude thing.
Just don't do it too much, you might get shanked.
Yeah, but
The right voice can get you out of any situation and break any amount of tension.
Like doing that, I realize that I can't do high-pitched voices because they make my testicles want to fall off and kill me.
No one wants to know your testimony.
This is supposed to be PGs.
The point is that you have to find a range. Okay, that's the main point that you should get out of this. I do the big burly voices.
Yo, show them the big brother voice. Show them the Armstrong.
Alright. Okay.
Show them the voice acting technique that's been passed down through your family.
I need to stand for this. It's very animated.
No, take a breath.
Minor character known as Strong Arm Alchemist. Alex Louis Armstrong.
Nice. He's a luchador?
But yeah.
So our chorus happens to be voice acting that we use for most major early characters, as we said. For example, Armstrong. We also have him, funnily enough, for Lust. Pause for a minute. Lust is female. Why did we do this? Well, we're going to move on to good writers, and I'll explain why. So good writers. I've left you guys a slow cliffhanger here. You need people who can write comedy. If you're going to be doing a bridge series, at least someone who can write comedy. If you have someone who doesn't know how to write comedy, why are you doing the bridge series? That's what you're supposed to be doing, making it funny. However, if you're doing a fandom, that's completely different story. However, you need someone who can write dialogue really well. You have to be able to get someone's character in your head as a writer and be able to write to that character and keep them consistent from episode to episode. So, for example, I see a lot of abridged series who only release one episode, and they are really funny. Don't get me wrong. Their first episode is really funny, but they don't have any lasting power. Their humor pretty much consists of, and I apologize for this, all so random. And that's really all it is in the first episode. There's nothing to move on to a second episode. It's just people pointing out plot inconsistencies, saying, hey, we should be running here and there, but why would we need to see a second episode? It works great for a standalone, but if you're going to be doing something that goes episode after episode after episode, you want something that at least has a basic idea of the plot. You want some kind of character. Maybe the shtick is, for example, Armstrong, as I just said, he's Russian. He's Russian, he likes to make Soviet Russia jokes. With Lust, we decided to take an interesting angle for her. We gave her a male voice that sounds like the Old Spice guy.
Oh my god.
Lust. Beautiful in body, and with the voice that's like,
Isaiah,
maybe
we've
lost
stopped
before
that
to see
a lot.
him certain.
No. Old Spice guy is pretty lost in himself. You seen him? I saw him about the towel.
Hello, ladies.
So that's what I mean by good writers. You have to be able to get someone who can really make something stand out. Definitely. Okay, so what else do we have here? Definitely another thing to keep in mind for your writers is you are trying to abridge, and by abridge I mean make the plot short but relevant to what the original plot is. Again, if you just make it nothing but joke after joke after joke, where's the plot? There is no plot. That's not really an abridged series. That's just a bunch of jokes. It's stand-up comedy, pretty much. So keep that in mind too. And finally, because you need someone who can put the writing and the acting together, you need good editors. This one may be the hardest one to find because you need a lot of technical know-how. You need someone who can fire up Adobe Premiere, Sony Vegas, whatever, Final Cut Pro if you're on Mac, and be able to whip all these scenes together and say, you know what, I think this scene looked fantastic with this particular way you delivered this line right here. That one time consuming, and frankly, this is where I see most abridging groups tend to fail on, because someone sits in front of the computer and they're like, Windows Movie Maker's gonna cut it.
Oh God.
Not really. It depends on the budget of the show. Something like FMA Brotherhood is a pretty high budget show, and with the way their art is and everything else, if you do a shoddy job editing, it shows. For a lower budget show, you can get away with a lot of stuff, because hey, lower budget shows tend to do certain rules over and over again. They tend to repeat their backgrounds, so you can get away with a lot more with that. But the point is that you still need a good editor to make your writing and your acting sync up flawlessly. So those are the three main things you need to make an abridging team, I would say. And I would say you need to meet those to be able to get some better. But where would you be able to find these people? So voice actors, here is the Voice Acting Alliance. That is a good list. I feel like water.
Alright.
There is the Voice Acting Alliance, where there's a lot of people usually looking and willing to show off voice reels of themselves, and that's usually a good place to start.
Or Tumblr drama. No Tumblr. Oh, no Tumblr.
That's a whole other panel.
In Tumblr's defense, that's what people usually contact dogs.
I know, it's nice.
You had experience with that.
Sometimes. Tumblr.
Voice Acting Alliance. I'm going to it exactly off the top of my head, but try Googling and see what you find.
I think it's
You actually know what we're talking about. Don't get Mike.
It's already on.
One, two, three. Hey! Okay. Voice Acting Alliance is basically a forum where I would say very well known voice actors go to. They put up a link saying, I'm looking for a job, or they're probably hosting projects themselves. Directors tend to go there saying, hey, this is where we're starting the Bridge series. Here's the plot, the summary, the synopsis of what we're going for. If anyone's interested, please let us know. And then that's where I usually do some of my work, where it's like, oh, I'm interested, I can do that. However, in the second form of communication is word of mouth. How we learned this project is by Chip here. He basically constantly referred me over to John, our director, and at first John was skeptical until they made a markup resource for Winry. And then after both me and Pierce Smolder here submitted our lines, we were considered good, so we were in the project that way. So there's many ways where you can actually get a voice actor. You just have to look at it. And also contain the basic rules that guidelines.
Okay. So right now it's about 11:23, and I would like to wrap this up in about 5 minutes to not be 7 minutes. 7 minutes. We can try.
We don't have.
We don't have internet.
Hold on, let me see if I have any of the episodes.
Oh, you're connected to the internet. The thing is, our episodes.
I'll look and see if I have an episode on here.
Our episodes tend to be around 10 minutes long, so that's part of the problem. And we also want to take some questions.
Sorry,
if you guys have any.
guys. Not enough time.
Yeah.
Complain at them for if they have this thing.
Complaining.
Let me finish my sentence. Complain at them for next year so that we can get an hour next year.
Yeah, we get an hour.
Yeah, you guys get a half hour. Meanwhile, OS, a game about Elite Beat agents getting ported elsewhere, gets an hour.
That's right. Really?
Yeah.
Shit!
Hey, bro, language.
Oh, come on, relax your shit.
It's too late now. Is anyone in the room offended? Is anyone in the room offended? No? Then fuck it.
Anyway.
So, yes, what our bars are saying, if we get invited back next year, and I hope we can impress you guys enough to get invited back next year, and if we get an hour, we'll be happy to show more episodes, and maybe you guys can sit here and have a raw things.
Yeah, please check us out.
And you can month with us and all that.
Alternatively, you can all tell us how unfunny we are.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
But we tend to follow the golden rule for taking criticism. We are going to take it as seriously as the amount of time we've put into writing it. So if you just write while you suck,
to a point that was brought up earlier, just if you guys do plan on starting an abridged series, this is the biggest piece of advice I've given, not just for abridged series, but for any single online series. Know that your first episode is always going to suck.
Yes.
It's always going to suck.
Until you redo it 50 episodes later.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
The redux.
But your first episode is always going to suck, and your first couple episodes are actually going to suck because you're going to have some growing pains. Your growing pains are going to be very significant until you figure out what niche your series should fill. Like ours fills the whole witty comedy, more fandubby, plotty type thing.
Is that really how you describe it?
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Just
No wonder we've been losing viewers.
But he does bring up a good point. Your first episode, don't expect that to get you know, immediate showers of praise and adulation and oh my god, that's amazing. No, that's not gonna happen. Get to your third, get to your fourth, get to your fifth. If you are still racking up, let me say, like 200 views per video, you might be doing something horrifically wrong. But with the first episode, take whatever constructive criticism you get, well, take it to heart, learn from it. It's really one of the biggest things you can do. And that ties back to what I said. Everyone on your team should have an attitude of being able to learn and not getting butthurt about a little piece of thing that you get to miss.
Alright, now we have like what, 2
Now we
minutes?
have about 2 minutes left.
Ask us any questions.
Yes, and ask us questions.
I just want to toss out another piece of advice. If you can find someone willing to edit your lip flaps, never let them go.
That's me. I do lip flaps. I do hands. I do everything. What's a lip flap? A lip flap. So pretty much when you look at anime, when someone talks about this, right? Generally there are 3 positions of lip flaps. Open, halfway open, and closed. When someone is talking, if their mouth is moving throughout the same what they're saying, it just looks really, really wrong. Part of the trick of editing is to make sure the lip flaps sync up with what's being said and make it look natural. So, as camera guy just said, sorry, you name's camera guy from now on. With an editor who can do that, never let them go, definitely. If the editor happens to be your director like me, then you don't have to worry about them running off.
Any other questions? Yes?
Just as a abridger myself, less so about the quality of the product as much as how do you, for someone just starting, what's the best way to get yourself out there? What's the best way to promote yourself? Because I mean, there's only so many social networks that you can put yourself on. But just because you're on there doesn't mean they're going to find you.
For sure. And to answer that question very well, when we started up, Hoots insisted on the bridge, but when we started out, our project,
I've done a bridge series myself too.
Yeah, basically what we did was we spread word through Tumblr. They don't like it.
Let's start on Tumblr. I wouldn't even know what Tumblr was when we started out.
Just let him finish. Let him finish. We don't have a lot of time.
Tumblr is one of them. The other way is through word of mouth. Fan forums, yeah, definitely fan forums, where you can get 2 minutes of. And
Adding tags to your videos.
adding tags to your videos, those are very, very important. And then the final thing is word of mouth through friends, let them go and let friends know.
Oh, and don't be afraid to ask another group to maybe give you some kind of a signal boost. Because some groups, they're really nice, they know exactly how it is they know what it's like to start out new, and they'll try to help you.
That's them for us. But what we did was actually we went to the Team 4-star forums and their general abridging forum, and that's how we promoted ourselves at the beginning. So
Criticism levels are speaking of like, just like, you're not as good as Team 4-star.
No shit.
Thanks, Tips.
all right. Any other questions?
Okay, we have to wrap this up really quickly, so we will take one last very fast question. Anyone?
That's the last question.
That's not a question. One more quick question. All right.
Okay, you guys said that you're voice actors. Who do you guys each voice actors?
Oh, okay. Okay, we got it. Okay, start off you.
Dead sexy. Edward Albert and Alphonse Albert.
Alright, I do 2 voices. Alright, 3. One is my favorite, is Scar, the Jamaican guy smoking, violin. He always had. The other is Colonel Roy Mustang, ladies' man, suave, debonair, terrible alcoholic. And the last one is Colonel Hughes, always chipper, always friendly, and probably on
Speed.
ecstasy, something legal.
Illegal.
He's also shortly going to be dead.
Fuck!
It's all because I am bumped up this show time. You're also one of the Royal Mustang's faithful henchmen.
About to fall.
Baldwin.
You have to reverse.
Good day, everyone. Soviet Russia, panel question you. Now, I am Colonel Armstrong. Major Armstrong. I am dumb. Okay? I am dumb. And I am also hello. And hello, But I need to start. Just say it. Okay, fine.
No, I'm Dr. Walker. I happen to be just the extra in the background on the plot. I'm also the random Indian guy.
You'll see it if you watch episode 6.
And I'm Winry after a really good vocal change, thanks to, the glory of mechanics.
Automail.
Automail.
If you guys are here, and this used to be Winry's old voice!
And now you see why I use automail to change my voice box.
Now you see why we got it.
Alright, guys.
Alright.
Thanks for coming out. It was a better turnout than we expected.
Yes, thanks very much, everyone. And for those of you who don't know our series yet, go to we're the Three Philosophers on YouTube, all one word. YouTube is going to kind of reject that, so you're going to have to kind of force YouTube to look up the Three Philosophers, and you're going to know it's
Slap it around a minute.
yeah.
Alternatively, the easy way to do it is just look up Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, a great series, and you'll most likely find us under the name The Three Philosophers. Thanks again, FrostCon.